We're going, and we're live. Buenos dias.
Órale.
Episode Dieciséis. 16.
What?
That's how you say it, man. I listen.
You listened? What, did you listen to, like, Google Translator or something?
Google Translation Audio. And it sounded really good. So I practiced
Really?
it all day, man. I started at 8 a.m. Dieciséis.
That's bitching.
So, well, it's kind of sad. But we're here, and we're talking about the good stuff. The higher things.
Yeah. We're talking about cheap shit. That's what we're talking about.
Talking about cheap shit.
Mm-hmm.
With a name, man, with a history for a brand, Jose Piedra, Joe Stone.
Joe Stone? Where'd
Joe
you come up
Stone,
with that?
man. Piedra, man, that's Stone, man.
Oh, really? Oh.
Stone, man, that's
That
what I call
sounds
Joe
more
Stone.
awesome.
Yeah, Joe
That
Stone.
sounds, see, when I was thinking about Jose Piedra, I was like, he's either like some filthy gangster, you know, like some street gangster, or he's like some bum-ass farmer who don't have no money, and he's got to sell all of his tobacco to Castro, so he keeps all the rest of the shit and just rolls up his own cigars and is content, you know. Now that you say Joe Stone, I'm wondering if he's like the Cuban brother to Keystone, you know?
Exactly.
The guy in the Keystone Ice commercials with the rockin' frickin' what's it called, mullet. Wonder if Jose Piedra is like the Cuban mullet guy.
Oh, he totally is. He's totally the mullet guy. He totally is. The sketchy motherfucker is Sancho Panza. That asshole, him and Raphael, man, those fuckers are up to no good.
Yeah,
So,
that I agree with.
but
I think Juan Lopez is the pimp.
Juan Lopez, man, and it's, you know, it's a brand with a history, because it's one of those things. It's a name, you know what I mean? It's the family's name. I mean, but it's like
So what's the history behind Jose Piedra?
I'm gonna give
You
this.
know, I don't ever research.
I'm going to give this to you. You don't care about this stuff. So
No, I
in the
don't.
1880s, Piedra, the family, left Spain. They lived in northern Spain in a province called Asturia, to all you historians out there, which is basically in the Bay of Biscay, you know, in the Atlantic with France, etc. They went to Cuba, and they didn't go to Havana. They went to a small town called Santa Clara, which is in the middle of fucking Cuba. It's like 3 hours east, 3 hours east of Havana.
Okay.
But it's actually, and here's one for all those Americans out there. It's 45 minutes away from Pepin's hometown.
Really?
Yeah, it's in that same Sanctus Spiritus Cabaguan area.
Interesting.
And that's where all the tobacco comes from. They start growing tobacco there, making their own shitty cigars there with their own shitty tobacco, and they were good at it.
They're good at making cheap cigars.
Yeah, that's why on the bands it says Vuelta Arriba, because that's the, well, you can't fucking see shit with the damn camera. But either way, man, it's there. There it is. Boom.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean in American?
An American means the something. Something, I don't fucking know, man. I'd have to look it up. Do you know what it means?
No, I thought that's what Google Translator's for.
I'll Google it. I'll Google it. I don't even think you need to go there. I think Habanos will tell us. It's, you know, it's not the best region for growing tobacco, but it's all right.
But it's all right. It's Cuban tobacco.
Right,
that's
all
all that
Cuban.
matters.
See, anytime you Google,
No, so,
all they're going to talk to you about is Vuelta Abajo,
mm-hmm.
which is the best region. Let's see. I'm going to find this out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to do this for me. In the meantime, I'm enjoying this fine Diplomaticos #2, and I'm lying to you all. It sucks donkey balls. The draw sucks like ass, so I'm poking it with a toothpick because I can't. I lost my damn poker. I had one of those Havana savers, you know. This thing's
Yeah.
the shit. And lost it. I don't know what I did with it. I got to find it because it's that, or I just need to get a new one. But this could definitely use that. But for all of you aficionados out there, I've had a few aged Diplomaticos and really, really, really love them. And I've had this box for about 2 years now, and every time I grab one, it just still seems to not be where the aged ones were at. So I don't think I'm probably going to touch it again for another 3 years. I'm going to let the rest of them sit for a while.
All right. Well, the translation's too damn literal. It says back to top, which it's like turn around, which maybe just represents get the fuck out of there, man. But either way, this was the area.
Turn around, bright eyes.
Good song. But good song. But yeah, this is one of the older regions of growing tobacco in Cuba, supposedly. It's one of those. This is kind of the area where they really began, and then they realized that there's better places out there.
Interesting.
But they stuck to where it is, and the factory's there too, so everything's getting made in that area. So it's it's kind of a boutique, local, small batch, short filler blend.
Well, we did kind of an ongoing shootout where we both reviewed 4 different cheapos. We were all under $3 over the last. Gosh, we probably did it for about 2 months now. It's taken a while to get to them, but
Can't smoke cheapos all the time.
yeah. You got to review other stuff too. But when I released my review today, and I thought it was the best out of the 4, honestly.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of knew that going in, but I had never had. I thought that the Partagas was going to be my favorite because I'd had some of those Partagas before and they were really freaking good. But then I kept having bad experiences with them. So to me, it just seemed like the price didn't really justify what the delivery was. Like that should be a $2 or less cigar, honestly. But man, of all of them that I've smoked, and I've smoked Jose Piedra before, I've always liked them. They just to me, whenever I smoke them, it's just like something I want to chew on and smoke it, like gnaw on it in my mouth and like go kill some shit. You know what I mean? Or go run around in the woods and on a 4x4 and with a bottle of whiskey in my hand and being a
shooting shit.
American, shooting shit.
Shoot anything, man. No, I agree with you. It's the one I think that comes in second is Portocano, and I just think that's just because it's got some potential to it.
Me too. Me too.
But I don't think it can really compare with Jose El Piedra. I mean, it's just every once in a while.
Go ahead.
Every once in a while, a short filler cigar is fun. It's just you don't really give a shit. You can just smoke it, enjoy the tobacco, and recognize it is what it is, and not really worry anything about it. I really don't smoke them that often. I'd have them around if I wanted to buy some. The only thing that's kind of short filler that I actually kind of smoked is Illusion Dion's got the Cuchillos Cubanos, which are like sandwich.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got like that Churchill in it, like a 7x47, which some of it's like 60% long filler, 40% short filler, and it's a really good stick. I mean, it's not complex, it's not like amazing, but for what it is, it's good. I think the Jose Piedra is better than that, but for being a short filler, I mean, it's pretty darn tasty. Yeah, I can't deny it.
God, I was smoking it the other night, and I've smoked plenty of them, and to be honest, there's like 5 or 6 different sizes in the line, and they're all about the same. They range from like 5x37 to 6x43, which is the Cazadores. And to be honest, the ones that I'd smoked in the past always kind of had that same kind of 1 dimension, maybe 2 dimensions, good, nice tobacco flavor. They've always been good, but everybody to me it seemed like everybody on the boards and online had always talked about the Cazadores being the best of the bunch, and
Yeah.
they're the most expensive at $50 for a bundle of 25. But to be honest, I mean, it's got a tasty wrapper. I've smoked a couple of them, but I didn't review one until this week, and honestly, smoking that thing, I was just sitting there like, wow, there's not a ton of complexity, but the flavors are really solid. It definitely had a solid change in it. Great finish. It left me wanting more. Like, I was just sitting there thinking about it. And I go smoke cigars with my buddies a lot of times, and I just bring the cigars. My buddies have the beers and whatnot, or the whiskeys and bourbons and whatnot, and I'll just bring cigars. And so I'll bring Cuban cigars from time to time, and they love them. But they don't really know, any better. But they know when I give them a Cuban cigar versus a non-Cuban, for the most part, they can taste the difference. And I think that's one of those cigars that you could give to somebody, and they could really appreciate the quality of the flavor without you having to break the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The quality of flavor in them is it's there. It's really there. I mean, that very surprising to me, and it just kind of from this bundle, smoking a few of them now, having smoked probably 5 of them, I don't see myself not having them around because of how good it is. I mean, it's kind of like for me with NCs. Whenever I'm not sure what I want, I just grab a Regis, and I know it's going to deliver a great flavor, and I love it, and I have a good moment. I know I can grab one of those Jose Piedras if I don't know what to smoke and I'm confused. I'm like, I can just grab that, and it's going to be good, and it's going to be consistent, and it's going to have a great finish, and it pairs well with beers or bourbons, or whiskeys, whatever. It's just going to be good. I'm not going to have a bad experience with it, and so for me, it's just kind of a no-brainer. I mean, I don't know about you if you like those Por Larrañagas, but I thought those sucked balls. I mean, honestly, those little Panatellas taste like shit. I didn't want to smoke it again.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that love those and swear by them. That's why I wanted to include them in this, shootout, because I'd heard so many good things about them.
It's not my cup of tea. The size isn't, at least, either.
I don't mind the size. I like small, skinny cigars, but flavor sucked balls, dude. It was not. It just was so one-dimensional. It was like I'm smoking tobacco, and that's all. And that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm smoking tobacco. Whoop-de-doo.
I mean, the Jose, for me, the Piedra is a line where it's like, it's just something I could like smoke up on my land in Virginia, just when you're working out on the land, and you don't finish it, you're just you're smoking, you're enjoying having a good time. I mean, you don't really need to worry about anything.
It goes out, whatever, pick it up an hour later.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's probably still going to taste good, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put it down and then just let it rest and then relight it, and it's probably going to be just fine. So, I will say, I think this is actually probably a really good wrapper. I'm going to say.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it has mine had like maybe half a dozen green spots on it, and so it's got some under fermented tobacco, if you will, but the color of the wrapper looked great, and it may not be smooth because there's a bunch of short filler under there, but the color of it and the consistency of the wrapper looked really good. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, is it the prettiest? No, but it's good in bed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say about it?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, hands down, you're going to go pick up a short filler. You want to pick up some cheapos. Jose Piedra, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
No
Without
doubt.
Jose Piedra.
Man.
Do not buy Por Larrañaga. They suck balls.
Yeah, you really hate that damn brand, man.
I do. I think that brand sucks. Other than that damn Encantos, man, that was freaking ridiculous. If I had any money right now, that's what I'd buy.
Yeah.
That was that 898 size, or Dahlia. That was freaking
Which
amazing.
is a great size. It's a terrific size.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I've had a long week. Would you like?
What
A little bit
talking
here?
about bourbon about? What were you going to bitch about bourbon about?
Bitch about bourbon? I'm not bitching about bourbon. I love bourbon.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to shoot down
I
bourbon.
love bourbon. No, I'm going to slam bourbon because I need it.
Oh, you're going to slam? I thought you were going to bash bourbon. I was like, oh, man, what the hell?
Oh, hell no. No. I did 100 proof Knob Creek, Kentucky Straight. I've been really on this big Kentucky Straight kick lately. Like, I mean, I don't drink that much, honestly, but I'll, a couple times a week, but I'll have maybe a finger. But lately it's been the Kentucky Straight. That's what's really been killing me. And Knob Creek, 100 proof, this stuff is tasty. It is freaking good. It got me through my album last weekend, so.
Oh, yeah, you got done with the studio.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good, man. When's the album going to be out, man? Rockstar.
Hopefully, we gotta record all the vocals, and we gotta mix it, and we gotta pay somebody to master it. So, hopefully by the end of the year,
Yeah.
So we gotta go through and edit everything. We did everything live, and so we did it in a way where everything is a live take. We didn't go in and track everything like bands do these days. We sat in a room and banged out all these songs. And so we did, of each song, we did 4 to 6 takes of each song. So all the guitar solos are live. Everything's live. So we have to go listen to each one of them and decide as a group, which take we think is the best take.
Yeah.
And then once we decide that, then we have to go cut the tracks all up to get that take out of them, because they're all done on one track, or one take, if you will. Multiple takes on one song, and so we got to go edit all that crap out, and then edit any noise, edit all the noise, beginnings and endings, and stupid shit where we're talking shit to each other, and then start recording the vocals and all the harmonies, and that shouldn't take us too long. So vocals shouldn't take us too long.
Good deal.
But it'll be fun.
We should do a
I'm looking forward to
show.
it.
We should do a show with your music with Dave from Cigar Jukebox.
Trying to think what would be good. Which is funny because Rob asked me to record an intro for Cigar Chat, and so we got this new mic coming, this expensive microphone that we ordered for our vocals. So when we start running it through the ropes and testing it out, I'm going to record an intro for him, and then for him and Logan on Cigar Chat. And then I figured we would talk about what kind of intro we would want for Habanos Critic or what Embargo. Think about that.
You choose the tunes, brother. I'm just.
And if our fans have any, like what kind of sound, what kind of style you want, whatever, we can figure it out.
Yeah, let us know and see if we actually give a shit.
Yeah, see if we actually care, because we probably don't. Feel free to send us anything you want. You can send us messages with recommendations and all that jazz, and chances are we won't give a shit. In all honesty,
not a priority for us, but that's okay. So, but yeah, man. So we kind of wrapped it up on the Piedras. Piedras are the shit.
That was fast.
It was fast, but I mean, we can talk about some other stuff.
Yeah, we should talk about other stuff.
But we do.
That was our whole show in 20 minutes.
Question.
What?
All right, this is a good question that was asked.
Okay.
Where the fuck did it go? All right, here we go. All right, tuna. I got into, and this is the San Cristobal El Príncipe. I got in the cigar when your review went out a little while ago, and I picked up in May, and you got a box code of AME September 2013. So we really liked them, so we ordered another box in July. with a box code, AME September 2013, same vendor.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was on a thread and a board, and he saw someone else had bought a box in August with the same box code, AME September 2013. Does it seem strange? Here's his question. Does it seem strange that the same code would last so long? I think that they're
No.
turning and burning, but maybe that's just misplaced. Did you just answer the
No.
question?
Yeah, my answer is no. Deal with it.
That's my answer too, man. No. I'm not surprised.
Should I give an intelligent answer?
Well, no is an intelligent answer, but you can give a more detailed answer.
I'll give more detail because we love our listeners and we love our viewers.
It's a good question, though. I appreciate it.
Now, my guess, and I'll be honest, I mean, and this is just a complete educated guess. Oh, shit. Sorry, sometimes golf balls come flying back here. My completely educated guess would be that I'm guessing most of our friendly neighborhood local LCDHs are in the Swiss, and to be honest, a lot of them use the same warehouse and distributor that comes out of Asia.
Yeah.
So, given that most of the buyers are probably buying from that, all this distribution is coming from Asia, basically, via Europe and via the Swiss. It makes sense to me that would happen, because I don't think, if I had to guess, I would say that, they probably make a ton of boxes of El Principe one month, and then the next month they make a ton of boxes of this, and then the next month a ton of boxes of this. It would make sense to me as a factory to go in spurts and say, okay, this month we're going to make a bunch of these, and the next month we'll make a bunch of these, the next month we're going to make a bunch of these. Because I can't tell you how many of the H. Upmann half Coronas you saw were the original run, September 2011. A ton of those boxes were hanging around with the Swiss and in Asia, and they're all coming from one distributor. So you got to think that think about how many cigars that Asian distributor sells.
Crap.
So when they're getting them in, they're getting pallets upon pallets upon pallets upon pallets upon pallets upon pallets. And so the reality is, there's no reason why there couldn't be multiple pallets of that cigar laying around with the same box code. You know what I mean?
Oh man, I saw a photo. I'm going to pull you and interrupt you. I saw a photo from a guy touring the H. Upmann factory, and it was a photo of a pallet filled with boxes of H. Upmann half Coronas. And this was a big damn pallet, because you could see the guy standing next to it, and it was packed. I mean, and I couldn't count how many boxes up to the side. All that, but there's more than one pallet, and you have to realize. I mean, it's not like it's a limited edition or anything like that. Stuff's gonna lie around. I mean, shit. If you go into some of your humidors, if you're in the United States, you go into a regular humidor, you're gonna find boxes of stuff that, if they put a box code on it, would probably be, a box code from, a couple years back. I mean, for classic example, I was in my local, not LCDH, my local non-LCDH, and I saw a couple unopened boxes still in the cellophane of some Casa Fernandez, Arsenios and Aganorsa leaves. And I flipped over the box codes, 2011 box codes.
Yeah.
Never opened. He's like, they've just been sitting there. I mean, and that's... sometimes the stuff just isn't moving. It's just sitting there. I mean, you can still get some older boxes.
And not only that, I mean, I think the El Principes move a lot.
Yeah, but it's just there's a lot.
So that's why there's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could see that same distributor ordering, like, oh yeah, we need more El Principes, get 2 pallets in. And then 1 pallet is still left over from the last one that's just sitting there, and it still sits there while they go through the other 2 pallets first, and then some moron's like, oh, we still have this pallet of AMR 13s laying around, we should send those out.
Yeah. But I agree. I do think that Habanos does focus on certain vitolas at a time. Because, for instance,
Yeah, I think they
I
do.
was trying to buy a box of H. Upmann Sir Winston's, and I was going to a lot of LCDHs and going to a lot of other places, which I know usually have, and none of them have them. They just don't have them. They haven't been shipped any. They have them on order. They just haven't had them, which goes to show that Habanos just really isn't producing a lot of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do, they'll get them, and they'll be in stock, and they'll be in stock for a while. It comes in waves, man. It comes in waves.
Yeah, so to answer the question, I don't think it's weird at all. I mean, um, I've certainly seen certain Vitolas all come out with a ton of the same box code at any given time,
Yeah.
especially something like that. Now, if it was, and we're really only talking about 3 boxes. It's not like we're talking about 300.
Oh yeah.
You know, chances are very high that would happen. So.
I should go open up my box and see what box code it is.
Yeah. Mine are 2012, November 2012.
Yeah, it's probably AME September 2013, but it's still pretty recent. You know, that's still recent. You know, production for Habanos.
Oh yeah.
So, but I thought that was a good question. It was a good one to talk about, really, right there, because we had.
I think it is. I mean, that would be something that I'm gonna, next time I run into somebody who worked in the Cuban factories, I'm gonna ask them that question, because I'm gonna ask them how they produce, if they do produce, because it would make sense to me, a cigar like that is so popular, to just go, okay, instead of producing 500 boxes a month, let's produce 2,500 boxes this month and get them out of the way. You know what I mean?
You get the rollers rolling it, so the rollers are getting comfortable with what they're rolling. They know what they're doing.
Exactly.
I mean, you got the boxes. You can. It's a chain, man. You can just get it done with. Fly through it. Get the sticks out there. Because it's a great cigar.
In 30 minutes in, I'm going to have to change my mind. The Diplomaticos is starting to get pretty good, even though this one had some draw issues on it. They get this weird. It's almost like a really weird, super sugary vanilla note. It's not like the standard. I don't want to say standard run-of-the-mill vanilla note, but you know how some cigars get that really cool vanilla note. Like, I love that note. So anytime cigars have that, I freak out. H. Upmann's get it sometimes, and the Diplomaticos just has this really unique one, and I think it just takes a while for it to come out, because I'm starting to get it now. It didn't come out in the first third. It was still a little funky, and every time I smoke one of these, every few months, every 6 months or so, I'm like, it's not there yet. But it's actually finally starting to get there, so. Interesting.
It's like that Cohiba I smoked earlier in the week, last week, which the band looked terrible, which I still think is the legit Cohiba. I really do. I've smoked enough Cohibas to, but first third was just, you could tell it was a young Cohiba. It was like, good God, you need a rest. But I got in the second third, and I got these really nice vanilla bean notes. It really became pretty damn sweet.
Yeah. It's always nice when that happens.
Yeah, but either way,
the reality is, if it needs, I'm the kind of person where a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, this cigar, whatever, like the first third's kind of, but then all of a sudden it just like opens up and it gets good. Well, you know what, dude, I want the cigar to be good the whole fucking time.
Oh yeah.
I want it to suck for the first third and then it be amazing, and then kind of go at the end and be okay. You know what I mean? That pisses me off. It drives me crazy. So, anyways, so you reviewed the Sancho Panza this week.
I haven't smoked a lot of them. I haven't. But it was soft, creamy, fairly flavorful, easy. An easy cigar. It's one I could have any time. I think a lot of people could smoke it. Wasn't overly complex, but it was a decent, fun cigar. I don't know if I'd go crazy. What's up?
I'm thinking that either our palates just are way different, which they are, but I still think we tend to agree on what's really good. But man, that cigar sucked balls. I mean, it was terrible. Like, I tossed it, honestly. And I've tossed other Sancho Panzas that I've had. But I've heard people, like, swear by Sancho Panza, you know, and swear by the new stuff, and swear by the old stuff. And I've had the new stuff, and I've had the old stuff. And it was just like, whatever, you know. The really older ones, the older, like, there's some older, like, Corona-ish type cigars that were really good by them. They're fantastic. But, see, when I smoked it, it was, like, salty. It was, like, salty and like, real woody. You know, and it was just kind of like I was smoking like a slab of freaking mesquite with some seasoning salt on it.
I'm telling you though, I sometimes get that salty quality with, you know, with Cubans, and I really like it. I think it's a really I enjoy the flavor profile. I think it's what really makes it unique, and that's one of those qualities that sometimes helps me really. Well, I mean, it's like that shows that Cuban tobacco flavor profile.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, I don't mind that at all. When I think, you know, a lot of times Monte Cristo gets that, and it's freaking amazing. I love it. But same with San Cristobal will get that from time to time. The Punta and the Fuerza. But yeah, all the Sanchos I've had were just like, I'd rather smoke a Piedra, honestly. It's weird. That's why it was weird when I saw you liked it. I was like, huh, that's odd. I didn't think you'd like that.
Yeah, well,
so maybe they've had some good runs as of late. What was the box code on it? Do you remember?
Let me. I think I put it on there, man. I'd have to look it up really quick. I want to say it was 2012.
Interesting.
Maybe 2013. Let's see. All right. Yeah, 2013.
Interesting. Maybe it's just newer runs. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Yeah.
The newer Clyde Orsay stuff has been really, really good, and the older stuff was not nearly as good. So that may be. I know you don't like them. That's fine.
I don't want to fucking hear that damn line.
Their old stuff sucked, but the new stuff is fantastic. So.
Well, you know, going back on Jose Piedra, because of what it is.
Yes, let's talk about Piedra again. Why don't we?
It's a global brand. It's in the Big Seven.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Huh?
Do you think it deserves to be there? This is a
okay,
tough one.
It's two answers. From an aficionado's perspective, if I wanted to be a snob, I would say no because it's short filler crap and, you know, whatever, it's just cheap. And so it's kind of, you know, bringing down the brand, if you will, the branding of Habanos, you know. It would be like Regis putting out a short filler cigar, you know, with the Regis label on it. You know, it's like you're bringing down your brand name, you know. Honestly, you ask me. Under another name, yeah, okay, but Habanos doesn't have that ability to do so because they're unique in that they're all Cuban. But from a business perspective, having run a business before, you got to have a price. You got to have a price point for every consumer, and they obviously have a ton of them. You know, really, when you think about it, I mean, gosh, we went through 4 that were under $3, you know, and there's more of them out there. There's Rafael Gonzalez. There's some Punch that are under $3.
Yep.
There's some Upman that are under $3. You know, there's a significant amount of short filler and budget cigars that they make, and you know, you got to have you got to fill that market. You got to give that market something. It's no different than you know, in America, the JFR, the 6x60, 7x70, big dumb, you know, cock size dick cigars that they sell in shops for uneducated consumers. You know what I mean?
But
they're like, oh, some guy comes in, I want a cigar. Cool, take this big dildo and smoke that, right?
no, I smoked the new JFR XT.
Yeah, was it any good?
It is. I mean, they say it's stronger. It's not stronger. I think it's more flavorful than the other JFRs. It's box pressed. I'd be interested when the JFR Corojo XTs come out. Pick up a couple, see what you think about them. I really want to know your thoughts on them. I really enjoyed it for what it is. It's not mind blowing. I don't think it's as good as any of the other Cas Fernandez, but it's enjoyable. And it kind of takes that place of Jose Piedra in some way.
Well, see, you know, the thing is, and it makes sense then when maybe it's a coincidence, but you know, having smoked all of these, you know, a few of these short fillers, and in all honesty, I've smoked plenty of the cheaper cigars, because I'm a fan of cheap throwaway cigars, because, you know, if I don't feel like, you know, dealing with something, I just want to grab something quick that I don't have to worry about. And of all of them, the Piedra was the best. So it makes sense to me that of all of them, that's the one that's the national brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it is a pretty good quality smoke. You know, I mean, it's definitely a. I'll put it to you this way: it's so good that whenever I look at anything NC that's $4 or in that $4 range, I'm kind of like, yeah, nah.
Yeah. Piedra's,
you know,
Piedra's much more worth it.
Yeah, so it doesn't surprise me that it's a national brand for them, because I think it fits a business model. It fits part of a business portfolio in that regard of being able to cover everything. And you know, it's not like they're making any claims that it's this great cigar or anything. It's a short filler cigar, but it's handmade. They are still making them by hand, which is really cool. I think it's neat that it's not machine made. It's still handmade. So you know, the binder and the wrapper, you know, are long filler, and they use a double binder on it, so you're getting at least Cuban tobacco out of a double binder and the wrapper, you know. And the filler is just short filler, whatever, who cares?
You know,
all the.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was going to say this: all the tobacco from that region. Look, I'm pointing at everybody with my pointer like some dickhead. The point is all the tobacco from that region. We can say all we want that the tobacco from that region isn't that good. That's why they're using the Piedras. But the reality is, it's all the short filler from that region. All the long filler from that region is going into Habanos. It is. So it's not like this tobacco is not the same tobacco that's used in cigars. That, I mean, for all I know, the tobacco that's in your cigar is the same tobacco that's in mine. I'm just smoking the longer leaves. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm smoking the scraps.
Yeah. So really, I mean, the reality is, you know, it's not like it's terrible tobacco. It's the same tobacco they use in. I'm sure that's used in as filler in plenty of Habano cigars. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You know, they moved it up to a global brand the same year they moved up H. Upmann, which I think was a brilliant move to make that a global brand.
Yeah.
So I think there was definitely some smart business reasons around it. I think they pushed H. Upmann. They wanted to make H. Upmann more recognized, and I think it's smart. I mean, now they're using the H. Upmann factory. I think H. Upmann's kind of, I wouldn't say taking center stage, but it's definitely taking a bigger role. And I think they realized at the same time that, listen, they can still make these cigars. My theory behind it is I think in the same year that they moved this up with H. Upmann was the same year around the same time when Habanos decided to start cutting down quantity of production and focusing on quality. So they said we're going to make.
What year was it?
It was like 2007, I think, 2005, 2006.
Yeah, because 2005 was when they really started to get the draw thing under control, and when they started aging stuff at least a year, you know.
So,
and
yeah, you're focusing on quality, so you're going to be making better cigars. With that comes a sacrifice. They understood that, and so they said, all right, with the sacrifice, we're going to have some stuff left over. Let's bring up Jose Piedra so we can still offer that readily available, wallet-friendly brand. And, you know, we can make some money off of it and make it much more available than it used to be. and we can also make our premium stuff better. And I think they've done it. I think they've done a good job with it. I think Jose Piedra has helped them do what they're doing.
That's an interesting take, because obviously for them to move Piedra to a global brand, they had to increase production to support demand. So because of that, obviously they're probably getting more scraps. They're probably collecting more scraps, or more short filler, if you will. So interesting. I never really thought about that. Never really thought about that. Makes you wonder. Things that make you go,
Exactly. But it's, I have nothing against the brand. It's a brand I'd actually buy. I don't even know if I just, I give cigars to my father-in-law all the time. He doesn't buy them. I just give him a bunch when I go up there.
Yeah.
I would much rather go up there with like 2 bundles of Jose Piedras.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, here you go. And it's like, he'll be like, damn, you gave me Cubans. These are tasty, and I don't care what I do with them. It's like every other month or every 3 months I could just bring up a couple bundles of Jose Piedras and knock it out. So, winner on all
winner. Now, the only question is, when will there be a regional? I want a regional Piedra, dude.
Oh, my goodness. Well, they made some. Well, it's a global brand, so they won't do it. But they did it with Florida Condo.
Oh, they won't do it because it's global?
It's global, man.
You're right.
But how sweet would it be? I'm just calling this. Jose Piedra, Edición Limitada 2015. It's going to be $7. It's going to be a $7 Piedra.
That would be so badass, dude. I would be so stoked if they did that. I would totally buy it.
Imagine if they made it and it was just amazing, man.
Yeah, it would be great.
But I'm going to announce at the end. We're going to do our first giveaway. We're not telling you what we're
really?
giving. Yeah, but I'm giving stuff away, and it ain't going to be Crystal Pepsi.
No Crystal Pepsi?
No Crystal Pepsi. Do you remember Crystal Pepsi?
Oh, hell yeah, I remember Crystal Pepsi, dude. Come on now. Well, I got a few years on you, bro.
Greatest thing ever. So, man, why do these people keep tagging photos of me? As everyone knows, tomorrow is the big game, the Red River Rivalry Showdown.
What?
Oklahoma Sooners. Between my Sooners.
Yeah. Who are they playing?
Oklahoma and Texas.
Oh, okay.
The over-under is 47. So, and the game starts at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So what I'm going to do is between now and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can email me, you can message me, whatever. If you guess the points, guess the total points. I don't care what it is. Let's say it's 52. You guess 52. Whoever the winner is, or winners, you're going to get surprise gifts, and then I'll email you back and get your addresses. So,
surprise gift.
Surprise gift. Try and guess what the points do you think is going to be. It's going to be a giveaway, baby. Crystal Pepsi, Twinkies.
I mean, you kind of just jumped into a slippery slope. Before we were the show that didn't have any giveaways, so nobody comes and watches our shit. It's not like we have the liberty to be like, oh, hey, come listen to our show. We're giving away a ton of free stuff today. Yeah, so people are going to come on and watch on because they want to get free stuff,
This is free stuff from Raul Castro, man. He sent it to me.
From Raul Castro. Raul.
Sent it my way.
That's awesome.
We got to get Havana Club as our sponsor. That's what we need to do. We need to get a liquor sponsor.
Oh, that would be bomb. That would be bomb.
Their rum's so good.
I've never had it. A friend of mine has the ability to get it. It's expensive to get it in here, but
what you got to do is you got to fly to Nicaragua and just buy it there because it's mad cheap. So,
Yeah, exactly. All the guys that I know that go to Nicaragua always bring it back with them.
I mean, that's what I did. So,
Which I may have to if I go in December. I may go in December. So if I do, I'll grab some when I come back.
it's like the cubita. It's the Cuban coffee beans, man. Cubita is really good too.
Yeah, I've never had that before, and I wouldn't mind.
It's really good. Those are really
I
good
wouldn't
beans.
mind trying that out.
So
I'm
what
pretty
else?
picky
What
about
else?
my beans, though.
You know, the next thing we're going to focus on, I'm going to make us go down that road. Cohiba Maduros.
All right. Really?
Yes, man. Just to make it painful for you.
Do I have to review it?
Do you have any?
Hell no. I don't know that shit.
Well, then we're going to talk about it. I'll review it.
Talk about it? Okay.
Because I know you hate
talk
it.
about it. I didn't hate it. It was whatever. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to save that for the next show, whatever 17 is in Spanish. Let's save it. And then we are going to do a show on Hector Luis Prieto.
Let's do that. Let's do next one be Hector, and then we'll do the Cohiba Maduros.
Okay.
Because you just smoked some of his little customs.
Yeah, no, and you need to try them out. You need to get some from your friendly neighborhood, LCDH.
Yeah.
And review them as well, because it's interesting. Yeah. Well, now I'm not going to talk about it because that's a whole other show.
The whole other show.
So we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to talk about that at all. Let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about something else.
All right. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about bourbons?
No.
What do you want to talk about, man?
I don't know. This is one of those episodes which we haven't had in a while where we ran out of shit in like 20 minutes, so now we don't have anything to talk about, so now we just need to talk shit.
We flew through it.
Yeah,
so how
it's in fucking...
Well, here's ago. We had a show like 2 weeks. So.
Did we? What was our last show? 50, oh, yeah, it was
Quinceañera. Yeah,
Quinceañera.
Quinceañera, whatever it was. Would you ever age a Jose Piedra?
Hell yeah! You know what sucks? Man, one of my... Oh, how should I word this? I once attempted to obtain some 2005 Jose Piedras from my friendly neighborhood local LCDH, and they got lost at sea. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, it was a bummer. They got lost at sea, and apparently they were valued at $400, which was hilarious. I thought it was great.
No kidding, really?
Yeah, I was like, $400? It's not worth $400. But yeah, apparently they got lost at sea. I'll leave it at that. But dude, this like darkness.
Guys have been aging these.
Well, no. I think that was one of those things where they, an Asian distributor had a big bunch of them sitting back somewhere and went, oh, here you go. Here's a bunch of 2005s, smoke away. I just found some lying around like they do.
It's interesting. I'd love to age them and see how they do with time. It's kind of like the Forticanos, just kind of what can age really do to a short filler cigar.
I mean, if you had to ask me my opinion, I don't think you're really going to gain much in the way of complexity, because really the complexity comes in the combustion of the leaf, you know. So you probably, if anything, you'll gain some finish. I would say the length of the finish is probably going to gain, but if you like them fresh, I would say don't age them at all, because they're probably going to lose that pungentness, that upfront pungentness pretty quick, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, God, when I smoked it, it was like this. There's just this smooth, coffee-ish type thing going on the whole time. There's just like this creamy coffee, great finish. And so I would think, in the first half of it, the finish wasn't that long. I would think age would probably, if age was going to do anything to it, I think it would just kind of maybe increase the finish in the first half of the cigar. You know, maybe make it a little bit longer, but
I think it would just become really smooth. I don't think it'd gain a lot.
yeah, no, it'd just smooth it out. I'd imagine it'd just get smoother and more mellow and just, you know, a little bit more balanced, if you will. Like I just smoked I think a good relation would be I smoked an aged Nicaraguan cigar that had like 6 years on it, and it just didn't really have much definition to it. It was just really smooth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was smooth, good finish, one-dimensional, nothing crazy, but it was a really good finish. And I think that's kind of probably what would happen with something like that. Whereas, you know, something like this, you know, this Diplomaticos, I'm noticing a definite difference from the last time I smoked one. I think I smoked one on one of our shows, actually.
You hated it.
Before, and it sucked. And so this one, at least now, is better. So however long ago that was, it's gotten better in that 6-month time frame. However long that time frame was. So.
Oh, the other thing I smoked the 2009 regional for Canada, the Vegas Robaina Petite Robaine.
Oh yeah, those are expensive, man.
That was a good smoke.
Oh, I bet. It's Vegas Robaina. It's got to be good, dude.
Robaina. So, but yeah,
the Canadians love those Robainas.
They do, man. Well, they also like Bolivars. They're a big Bolivar guy too.
Yeah, they are. They are. Seems like they've got the Robaina and the Bolivar regionals banging all the time.
Yeah, they have that, and that's one thing I think now that we're seeing regionals, kind of these countries only being able to get one regional a year. I think you're going to start seeing more and more regionals for particular countries. I don't think you're going to see a lot of these countries go away and start picking up some new ones. I think you're going to I think it's going to be kind of like in every other year you're going to see them swap back and forth. For some reason, I want to say England's just going to go back and forth between Juan Lopez and Florticano. I think Asia's going to do Por Larnaga, some Ramon Iones every once in a while.
Seems like those Florticanas get really, really, really good review from the Brits. Everybody loves those things, or at least they speak really highly of them from what I've seen. That's been my experience. I've never had one before because it just seems like it's expensive, and I'm like, I don't know.
It's really pricey. They're really pricey, but like you said, what I've heard is nothing but amazing things. So maybe that's our next venture.
Yeah, I'll have to ask Akil next time I talk to him.
Yeah, talk to Akil about it.
And hopefully, if I get lucky, by the end of the school year and get hired to a decent contract, then I'll have a little bit more money to spend on stupid crap. Even though I have so many cigars right now, it's ridiculous. It's insane. It's just I have an entire overfilled cooler that didn't exist before IPCPR. Now I just have this cooler.
The cooler door, man.
Full. Yeah, I know, but I don't need coolers all over the goddamn place. I got 7 humidors and a wine fridge already.
Oh, I know, man.
I don't need any more. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Crazy. The thing about Cubans, man, they just keep piling up in the damn humidors. But yeah, man. So what I'll do is, anyone who's listening between now and noon tomorrow, right before
noon tomorrow,
between Texas and Oklahoma, email me what you think the total point is going to be. Total points.
Can they tweet you?
No, I don't want tweets. They can tweet me. They can direct message me a tweet. No, they can't.
Okay. Yeah, they can DM you, can't they?
Yeah, they can DM me.
Okay.
And, well, I have to follow them, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, they just have to say, hey, if I don't follow you, message me telling me to follow you. Or you can email me at Seth Humidor. You can Facebook message me, Seth Geis. You should be able to find if you follow Habanos Critic on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is, and we'll get some goodies going your way.
Crystal Pepsi.
Crystal Pepsi, baby.
Crystal Pepsi. I think I'm going to be Heisenberg for Halloween. Walk around with big,
Collins
yeah,
coming up.
Big bags of Clorox. It'll be awesome. Dude, oh, you want to hear something crazy? Okay, and this is totally random, and it's made national news. It's made international news. So there's this. It has nothing to do with cigars, but whatever. We're just talking shit at this point. We need some filler. There's some guy in Wasco, which is this little Hispanic suburb about 30 minutes north of me. It's a farm town, and it's a prison town. So there's whatever. Anyways, some guy and his wife wanted to do something artistic, so they started this Instagram called the Wasco Clown, and they started taking all these pictures of, this guy dressed up as a clown with like balloons and in a clown suit in all these different places in Wasco, and it's a real old kind of town, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, and so all these people are like all creeped out about it, like, oh, this creepy clown, blah, blah, blah. And the guy came out, he's like, dude, it's just like an art project, like, whatever. Well, now it's spawned like all these copycats. So now in my town, there's been reports, like there was reports at a high school yesterday of clowns running around like chasing kids with freaking axes and clubs like in different parts of town, right? And like all these phone calls are coming to the authorities and everything. And then today they finally popped somebody. They finally got some guy for doing it. And just straight up, like, threw him in jail. It was on the news. It was on the news tonight. I mean, it made I want to say the Daily Mail in the UK, because it's spawned all of these copycats around here, and it's kind of like taken over our town in the last week. And there's all these different creepy looking clowns that are posting pictures on Instagram, and it's freaking hilarious, dude.
I'm looking at it. That's crazy.
Yeah. There's the Wasco Clown, and then there's more that are out there in Bakersfield, and yeah, they finally caught one of the guys today. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, this is like, of all parts in California, this is like Texas here. Everybody carries. The sheriff will give you a concealed weapons permit if you ask. Like, you do not want to go run around in a clown suit in this town, because everybody is carrying a gun. And even the people who don't have a concealed weapons permit are carrying guns. So you're just going to get shot. So I was amazed that this was going down, and I don't know, it was freaking hilarious. It's freaking hilarious. Man,
these are creepy photos, man.
I know, they are, aren't they? They're awesome. And it seriously, it happened like no bullshit. It happened like within walking distance of my house.
That's nuts.
Crazy. Freaking crazy.
Man. That was good film.
And I'm like, if I was walking my dog and some fucker came up dressed like a clown with a club, I would beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? He would get a roundhouse kick and get his fucking leg broke, and I'd just start beating the crap out of him.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. It's a little intense for me.
Yeah. Axe, yeah, I'd run away. I'd run away from an axe.
I'd probably freaking run too, or pull out my gun. So, well, man, I just finished my Jose Piedra too.
That's wonderful. Just in time. So we did much bullshit in the last 20 minutes. That's
the conclusion of episode Dieciséis. We'll be back.
Yeah, and I just want to go on the record and tell everybody this last 2 weeks of grad school were hell for me. I think I've written like half a dozen papers and tests and all sorts of bullshit. So I haven't been reviewing as much as I would have liked to the last month. So as of next week, I go back to only one night a week, which is going to be freaking great. So we can get into doing some more crazy stuff.
We can get
back to the show.
Get back to the conclusion of episode 16.
Yeah, next show, dude. What's the next show? Is it the 27th or something like that? What did we decide on? Look at my calendar.
Let me look at this. 25th. No.
Okay, I can't do the 25th.
Oh.
Grandma's turning 90.
24th.
Yeah, I might be able to do the 24th. That I might be able to do.
We'll do a preliminary 24th. Yeah, I can't do it that following weekend. I'm going to be up in Virginia, man. I'm going to be up at the land of Virginia.
Yeah?
Virginia's for lovers, baby. So we'll shoot
Nice.
for the 24th.
Nice. We'll shoot for the 24th. That could be our Halloween. I may have to dress up as Heisenberg.
Oh,
You know?
man. I'll put on my little. Yeah, I'll figure out what I'm going to be. We'll do it.
We'll do it. We'll do it. It sounds like a plan.
What Embargo? Follow us at habanoscritic.com.
Woo!
Forum. Follow us on Facebook, Habanos Critic and What Embargo.
Follow us on Twitter.
Yeah,
yeah.
Have
Thank
a good
you so much, guys.